index. Meanwhile, Abu Dhabi is entering the next phase of its 3-year, 50 billion dirham economic stimulus plan. The Qadam 21 initiative, launched last year, is aimed at stimulating business and investment in the UAE capital to promote its economic and social development. The Abu Dhabi government says the plan has already improved competition, supported SMEs and strengthened the private sector. Well, here to tell us about the impact so far and the plans to be rolled out for 2020 and 2021 is His Excellency Mohamed Ali Al Shorafa, the Chairman of the Abu Dhabi Department of Economic Development. Your Excellency, thanks so much for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Let's start on the impact of this package of programs, first of all. Qadam 21 has been in operation for a year now. Are you able to quantify the economic impact that we've seen as a result of the initiative?
Well, as you know, Qadam 21 is a program that was announced by His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed, the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi, and being an accelerated program of a 50 billion dirham worth of programs that were started in 2019. 2019 was an amazing year for Qadam 21. We have introduced over 50 different initiatives in the areas of livability, infrastructure, education and innovation, and creating the ecosystem for innovation hubs. As you've known, that the different changes that happened in Abu Dhabi now in terms of ease of doing business, our FDI transparency index have increased 75 points, and the business confidence also have increased. So we are continuing this for 2020, 2021 with more initiatives. The first thing that we're announcing today, and I think it's a scoop for CNBC, is the 10 billion projects of public-private partnerships for Abu Dhabi. I think it's a statement that we're bringing the private sector into this market, and I think it's an ongoing thing that we're doing.
So why are public-private partnerships important at this phase of the economic diversification story?
Well, I think it's important to bring in the private sector. It's a statement that we believe as a government and the leadership in Abu Dhabi, the private sector is an important partner in this, and they should and would be part of the development program in Abu Dhabi. Having a sustainable and resilient economy in Abu Dhabi, we need to have the private sector as a partner in Abu Dhabi now.
So what does the next phase of Qadam 21 look like? Now that we've passed the 1-year mark, what are some of the other initiatives that we're expecting to see over the coming years?
Well, there's a lot of announcements in 2020. We're continuing this program in the fields of transportation, in the field of education, housing. And we continue creating, and we've already created a lot of initiatives that you will hear in the next couple of months in the area of investments, in the area of creating more public intervention within the economy. Abu Dhabi government is a very strong economy. We have always been developing a lot of areas in the public sector. The private sector, as we believe, is a very important partner. And to be a resilient economy and a sustainable economy, it is important to bring our partners in the development of Abu Dhabi. As you know, Abu Dhabi Investment Office, which is part of the government initiative, have created a number of initiatives of about 13 billion in either incentive packages, either in development programs into the fintech, agri-tech, edutech. We've created Hub 71, which is incubated already over, and they're housed over 39 different startups that we are supporting as Abu Dhabi government, in addition to a lot of the livability projects, and we've announced 8 billion worth of livability projects, and how to make Abu Dhabi. See, Abu Dhabi is a very tolerant and inclusive city, and having a tolerant and inclusive city, we ought to create that environment for people to come and live, work, invest and study in Abu Dhabi by all these new initiatives that we were developing.
I was looking over some numbers as well. The IMF now expects non-oil growth here in Abu Dhabi to accelerate to 3% in 2020, and this is quite significant because that's up from 1.6% last year. That is a really sound endorsement of some of the initiatives that the government is putting in place at a time when there are some real concerns about the regional economic outlook, particularly with oil prices lingering where they are right now at around this 50 USD handle. So when you look at this package of programs that the government is putting in place, in the context of the regional outlook, how important is it for the government to be pursuing these types of initiatives when the outlook is still quite uncertain?
Well, the government and the leadership in Abu Dhabi have taken a direction of trying to reduce the dependency of the hydrocarbon revenues. And by reducing this dependency, we have to be as diversified as possible as an economy. And this diversification needs to bring different initiatives into the market. As you just said, the IMF numbers have, for Abu Dhabi in terms of non-GDP oil was very positive. And I think the other indices that we always track in terms of either the foreign direct investment indices or even the business sentiment for Abu Dhabi have increased. So I think we are on the right track. I think we're tracking the right momentum and having the right traction as well from the leadership. We're changing a lot of reforms. There's a lot of policy reforms that we're introducing, and I think we are on the right track. More initiatives to come. It's a 3-year program of an accelerator that was announced by His Highness, and we are all here to do and bring the private sector on the table.
And you see this not just within the economy, but also within Abu Dhabi society as well, because you walk down the street and you can see new artworks, you see parks being restored and upgraded as well. So this is really happening right around the city. I wanted to ask you about the startup initiative as well, because we've been interviewing a number of startups out of Hub 71, yes, which has been quite successful here at ADGM. This initiative has really jump-started the Abu Dhabi startup ecosystem as well, and I think there's 39 startups now operating out of Hub 71. Is that correct?
It is 39 so far, and that's in a very short period. I think we're trying to create the ecosystem not only for the startups, but also to empower SMEs as well. So part of the developments that we are trying to ignite in Abu Dhabi is creating that ecosystem of startups, innovators in different areas that we feel that we can add value as a government, and we're opening up the market for SMEs as well. 95% of the economy of non-oil GDP in Abu Dhabi is consisting of SMEs and private sector. So I think putting all of those on steroids and getting the economy ignited again is a testament of where we're trying to go.
And it comes at a very important time as well.
It is.
Your Excellency, we're out of time, so we'll leave it there.
Thank you
so much for joining us today.
Pleasure.
We appreciate it. That is Mohamed Ali Al Shorafa there, the chairman of the Abu Dhabi Department of Economic Development, with us right here on CNBC. Coming up on the program, better late than